Well, finally I'm back with a tune setup for a car that's been featured probably the most on my channel, the ALPINE VGT Group 1. Now I believe this is the fastest non-Group X car in the game, but I hope to be proved wrong. Now, I haven't gone back and really done a lot of tunes for a lot of my other cars. Now I have an Enzo tune ready, and it's a list of all the new cars top speed tunes that I'm going to put into a top 10 list, or not even a top 10 list, a top 7 list, as I don't like focusing too much on Group X cars. Unfortunately, there are some cars like the McLaren P1 that are in Group X but do deserve a shout because they are probably insane. But anyways, so already breaking our previous record at Le Mans, before even reaching the hill, we reached a speed of 476. And this setup is tuned towards solo runs, but you can run in draft. There's a bit of room for it. Now, at the crest of the hill, we do reach 470, and towards the downhill, breaking the 480 barrier and peaking on our first lap at 487. Now, I say first lap because the second time around, you can go faster. And we are going to take a look at that. And coming up to our first major tricky part of unlocking true potential of the cars is the corner, or two corners. Now this is a very heavily banked slow corner, or it's actually very fast, but going through here is very important as it can be the difference of, you know, a kilometer an hour, which sounds small, but it can really make or break a car. Now, you want to stay in the middle lane. Now, that's because going too high in this car can make it unstable, and going too low in any car slows it down way too much and pretty much ruins the top speed. Now, what I did there was make sure I take the little bankment down to where the car flats out. It's like a little hill you can get to gain some extra top speed. I'm going to fast forward here because it's like a solid minute of just going in a straight line. Now, breaking the 480 barrier under its own power on a flat track, 481 now. Flickering at 482. Now, this is sped up, but when I was going normal speed like I am now, it was painful to watch. Now, coming through the tunnel, which with no echo kind of sounds weird, but at the exit of the tunnel, we're gonna see our true potential. 483, easily reached. Now, I pause it here because 483 was the fastest I've ever been, and I'm starting to flicker at 482 and 483, so we're probably at like 483.1 or 0.01, which is pretty fast, to say the least. This is probably the fastest non-Group X car in the game. Speeding through this corner because we've seen it before, we already know what to do, we already know how to take it, we already know how to maximize potential coming out of the corner. And coming up to the second lap, we're already way faster than what we had in our initial run up to the corner, or to the start line, out of the corner. And we're matching our ghost right now. And this is how we achieve one true potential a little bit faster. Now, previously, our top speed down the hill was 487, and we entered the climb of the hill at 476, and we're entering at 481 now. And of course, we're gonna lose some speed as we go up the hill, which is unfortunate, but you know, it's normal physics stuff. But we reached the crest of the hill, 472, so we don't lose too much speed compared to our other lap. Coming down the hill, reach 47 and flicker on 488, just barely. Now, you probably saw in the thumbnail that this was a 483 kilometer an hour setup, and I don't include the peak setup or peak top speed, as I think that's kind of cheating. But I think there's 3 ways to measure speed around this track. One is kind of a combination of 2. It's peak and holding. So you peak the bottom of the hill and what you hold at the end of the straight. The second one is lap average speed. So you lose speed in the corners, and you calculate your lowest speed with your highest speed, and you average them out and find your average track speed, which is very simple, but not even close to how it normally is. And the third one is actual lap time. Now, I've only tested one Group 1 car, which is this car, and it managed to do a 3:48, which is my first car. I went under 3 minutes or 4 minutes. That isn't a Group X car. Final time 3:48.465, which is incredible because that's 30 kilometers in under 4 minutes. So now I just slow down here because I finally got a good lap with a good tune, and I do donuts of excitement. So anyways, looking towards the future, I'm going to be remastering some of my older tunes for the cars. So the Enzo Ferrari, the Audi R18, other cars in the 460 Club. I have other tunes for the Peugeot 908 and the Hyundai Vision GT that I want to show. And I'm just celebrating here with my lights. But anyways, looking towards the setup now, it's very simple. I didn't change too much with the suspension. I'm just changing it here to 488. So that's the way I mark my top speeds, is peak and holding. So setup change isn't really too different for suspension. Just a few tweaks here and there. The reason why is because Le Mans is bumpy and you gotta kind of tune out the bumps to get higher speeds. But this track's completely flat, you don't have to worry about that. And for transmission, it's very simple. The most important gears, I'd say, are 6th and 7th. You spend most of your time in 7th here, so making sure you have a good ratio to make sure the power band is at its maximum to get the most power out of the car is super important, and I have that set up max. And the final gears 3.110. You can change it to 3.100, but draft potential, that's pretty much how you change it. So lower it to have a higher draft potential, and it should be golden with that. And now we're going to take a look at the replay here. Now the replay records at a lower FPS, so flickering from 1 to 2 was a lot less crazy, let's say. Now when I did this like real time, it was flickering 1 and 2 like they were like almost like combined numbers. They were flickering so fast. The recording from the PlayStation makes it look a lot less flickery, I guess. So 483 is our final top speed. Anyways, if you enjoyed this video, it was kind of long because the way I wanted to measure top speed is a bit imprecise. But anyways, if you did enjoy this video and want more, please like and subscribe, as more tunes will be coming for previous cars on my channel. Anyways, peace.